Episode 35, The Death of Late Night. The call came in just after midnight. I was staring at the full moon outside my office window and sipping the last of a cold cup of coffee. My ears perked up when I heard the name, Walter Sterling. Yeah, that Walter Sterling, radio host of the show Sterling Every Damn Night. I knew who he was. I was a midnight misfit myself. I'd been listening to his show for 11 years and I still hadn't learned anything. He had a great show. It was entertaining. Only lately, he hadn't been on every night. The Suits had cut his program back to only Sundays. The Suits, for those of you that don't know, are the people responsible for keeping shows like American Idol on the air for its 200th season. Sterling was right about the Suits and program directors. They're the kind of people that eat bananas with the peel on and wear pajamas in the daytime. The voice on the other end of the line said, "He's dead and there's a note with your name on it." I exceeded the speed limits of the Highway 5 freeway as I listened to old Walter Sterling broadcasts, trying to figure out how in the world he ended up dead inside Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in downtown Hollywood. I was trying to see if I could find a clue hidden inside an old broadcast. As a midnight misfit myself, a few usual suspects came to mind. Could the killer be Vic Ferrari, the former NYPD detective and contributor to his show, or perhaps Thea, the smutty book author and contributor? Did one of them want a bigger segment? Or perhaps a disgruntled regional program director, tired of being proven wrong once again by Sterling's unusually high ratings? Not a surprise to me. The man had taste. I knew the second I heard him play Shaka Khan's Nobody Loves Me Better on kazoo. I arrived in Hollywood just as the sun was rising. A derelict Superman was crossing Sunset and Vine looking like Lex Luthor had gotten the best of him. I chuckled out loud next as what I can only describe as a morbidly obese Asian Batman jaywalking, bouncing his 300-pound frame across the street, narrowly missing being hit by a yellow Tesla, and then flipping the bird directly at a Korean Elvis impersonator who was power walking the boulevard, handing out star maps. The only thought that came to mind was that there were no stars left. Perhaps the only one still hanging on was Nicholson, Jack. I steeled myself and made it into Madame Tussauds without having to make eye contact with the natives. Inside, I adjusted the fakakta paper lid on my coffee. It was beginning to leak, and I surveyed the crime scene wondering how long would it be until they brought the plastic lids back. His body was found behind a cardboard desk in the Wax Museum's section of late-night talk show hosts. They didn't bother to cover his body. Even dead, Sterling looked more lifelike than all the wax figures, especially Kimmel, whose figure looked bloated, like it needed a shave, or maybe that's just what the man looked like. There was Johnny Carson, I assumed, or maybe it was a recycled Clint Eastwood with a bad tie, looking like the king himself in front of those iconic multicolored NBC drapes. Jay was adjusting his tie in the corner, smiling, looked just like him. Then there was Conan O'Brien, not a bad likeness. Seth Meyers, Kimmel. Late night TV was dead, all right. Now someone wanted to kill late night radio. I couldn't figure why Sterling wanted to broadcast from inside the Wax Museum. Maybe all the stiffs reminded him of his audience. I stared at Sterling's tongue hanging out. He was clutching an NBC Peacock mug in his right hand, and that's when I noticed it. A single mint, placed perfectly on the tip of Sterling's tongue. Was this a warning, or did the man just have bad breath? That's when I looked closer. It was a Zellman's mint. Sterling's main advertiser, Zellman's Mints. Would the mint people kill him? I had to wonder. I read the poem attached to his lapel. which had mentioned my name. He knew that Armi chased the clue through waxen hosts that never grew. He wrote my name, he always knew. The suits would cheer when night was through. A mint was left, his final clue. And that's why Armi won't trust parking garages. And can somebody please validate my parking? Until next time, your detective, Billy Armi.